leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick, was chasing the beer that circled the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Live on Strong Island TV from Paradise Studios in Massapequa. I am in my basement in Belmore, next to my wonderful and beautiful Greek neighbors who are just awesome. And my co-host tonight is the lovely Megan Ruth, friend.
Hey guys.
Hey Megan.
Good to be here.
Thank you for taking the time to be my co-host tonight on Laughter Saves Lives Live.
Thank you for having me.
I enjoy lately having a female co-host. I think it's more fun. It's a different chemistry than having just, the hairy guys on that I normally have.
Just two dudes, bunch of dudes.
Yeah, we used to have too many dudes. We had like 4 when we started doing this, sometimes 5, and it was just too much. And everybody was stepping on each other. So I find this much better to bring in one guest, and then we have one co-host, and we have an interesting guest today, FDNY Dominique. FDNY fired up for a cure. They're doing a lot of awesome work with guys who are with 9/11 cancer. Dealing with a lot of different organizations, and we've done a few shows for them. So Dominique has agreed to come on tonight, so that's pretty awesome. Didn't you just recently have a birthday, Megan Ruth, friend?
I did. It was last
27.
Yes.
I paid.
Wait, 47?
No, 27, right?
Yeah, 27.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
And I'm 61, so. The first thing I wanted to ask you, what is going on with 27-year-olds this day? What is important to 27-year-olds? I mean, I should know. I have I think my daughter is 26, 27. My son is like 35, and my baby is 19. But in your world, what's going on? Are a lot of, we don't do politics on this show, and oh my God, I was looking for some stories in case we're stuck, some funny stories in the news. And you look at the news, I look at and it's like, oh my God, it's stressful. So everything is so.
Definitely.
And that's why I love doing this show, because we try to make people smile and laugh a little bit, So are most people your age these days political? Do you feel I'm into politics?
Yeah, I would say so. Most are.
The majority, you think, are really... I think that's changed over the last 10, 15 years, that young people are getting more involved. Maybe I'm wrong. But
Yeah, definitely.
So I was telling you that today I drove... Hey, Bobby, do you have the picture of my class today that I sent you? Can you put that picture up, or did you not see it? I sent it to you in a text message.
Coming up.
Oh, I can't see the screen. That's right. Is the picture up, Bob?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's up. I can't hear you well.
Yeah,
so
it's up.
The picture that's up right now, Megan, it was the first time I taught since March.
Oh, really?
Because, I teach for Homeland Security and a few other Customs and Border Protection I teach, and fire department, and nobody's holding classes, obviously. So this was the first time I taught, and I was a little nervous about it. I'm big on the masks, and I'm not going to get into it, but I just think it's really important. And what was really cool is they all wore masks. I wore a mask teaching, and the class went really good. Hey, we went on a break. We went outside. We distanced. We took it off for a little while, and but it really went well. But I really enjoyed being in front of class again and teaching.
Yeah.
Just like with comedy. I haven't been back on stage yet, really. You've been on a few shows, right?
Just one.
Just one? And what kind of show was that?
It was actually over the past weekend. I did a spot at McGuire's, and I was really Yeah, I was really nervous because I hadn't done it in so long.
Yeah. And it's like riding a bike, right?
Yeah, sort of. Like it goes like the same. I feel like comedy's something you need to do all the time to get like to
You need,
stay good at it, like or else you kind of lose it.
yeah.
So
I'm at a point in my life where I don't care.
yeah.
And what I mean by I don't care is I'm going to have fun when I go up there. And even if I forget a punchline, even if I'm, go off my material, go into the audience, I love that. I love going off my routine and trying to come back and trying to make trying to make what? Lemonade out of lemons, right? It's something that's a mess and bringing that together. I find that a lot of fun. But you're a lot of fun, and I'm a big fan of yours. Hence, I want to make you part of this Heroes Tour that I'm putting together. You were an EMT for a while.
Yeah, about not super long, about a year and a half.
And at what age did you do that?
I started when I was 25, I think.
And now that's to me that's very commendable. You say you did it only a year and a half, but you did it a year and a half. What made you want to do that?
It was always.
Don't tell me your boyfriend. Don't tell me your boyfriend. You wanted to.
Nah.
There's a guy that was a member.
No, I don't know. It always like was something it was kind of like comedy. Like it's always one of those things I wanted to do, but I never thought I could do. Like I always like when I was in college, I knew a lot of people who did it.
Right.
I was a biology major, and a lot of people who are pre-med like do EMS and stuff to get experience. So I knew a lot of people who did it, and I thought it like always sounded really interesting. So I kind of had like a gap. Like I was about a year out of college, and I had just finished. I did AmeriCorps for a year, so it's like a volunteering program.
Oh,
I did
cool.
that. Yeah, so I did that, and I taught in Harlem, and I just finished that. So I kind of like was like, what do I do next? So I was like, I guess.
Oh, you taught AmeriCorps was in the United States.
Yeah, Peace Corps is the one where you go to other countries.
Right. Okay, that's very commendable. I didn't know that about you.
So yeah, I've done a lot of different like random things.
I mean, that's how I was. I've done so many different random things in my life.
Yeah.
Too many to mention. Before I became a fireman, I was a computer operator down on Wall Street.
Oh, really?
Like working 6 at night to 6 in the morning, running programs and reports and checks, and it was the most boring job you'd ever have. And before I became a fireman, and once I became, I was not the type to become a fireman, and I'm so proud of what I did and the guys that I worked with, and the people that I met. Like Dominique, who's coming on, we're gonna talk, a lot to her about a lot of different things, what they're doing. I'm very ADD. I'm all over the place, Megan.
It's okay.
Well, I was reading some things. Do you know how to? It's just like coming out of left field. How to properly strain pasta?
Don't you take it out, you put it in the strainer, and you pour water on it?
Well, the Hollander.
Oh, is that what's called? Yeah, the thing, the strainer.
Right.
You pour like cold
everybody
water.
does it, but then I saw an article that you're supposed to put the strainer in the pot with the this side down, the round side down, and strain it in the pot. That's what the way the strainer was originally designed. You're learning a lot here at Laughter Saves Lives Live.
Wait, like you put it like how? Like you put it upside down?
Upside down in the pot.
Oh.
That's what I read. Not important, but I'm trying to stay away from the news and politics. And when I was looking at articles, that was number 52. 51 of them were politics, and
And then it's how to strain pasta.
Said, let's talk about straining pasta. Are you like pasta like, what is it, al dente? Do you like it a little hard, or do you like it very soft, the pasta?
Yeah, I like it al dente.
Yeah, me too.
A little bit of crunch, but like.
Well, not crunch.
Not crunch.
That's
you
like
know the word
out of the box, Megan.
No, you know the word I'm looking for. Not like popcorn. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to crunch. You want a little bit of texture in there.
Yeah, like crunch.
Not crunch. You don't want crunch.
I used to do that when I was a kid. I used to eat it straight out of the box, like raw.
No.
Yeah,
Really?
like, yeah, I thought it was so. I was so weird. I ate like spaghetti. Like I don't know.
I've never heard anybody who ate. That is weird, Megan. That is weird, but you're unique. Unique eating pasta out of the box. It's not like eating cereal out of the box.
No.
I want to thank our sponsors, Worth a Shot, Fire News, MCM Duck Cleaning, Life Vac, Barish and McGeary. We'll be seeing some commercials coming up. We're very professional, Megan. When you look back on the show, you'll see we run commercials. Very fancy show. One of the commercials is a pasta company that you can eat right out of the box. And I think I'm going to get you an audition now to do their commercial.
Oh, I can't wait.
Because you're the only one that I met that eats pasta out of the box, or used to eat pasta out of the box. Megan, I'm taking my real estate test on Thursday and Friday. During the old COVID situation, I took 19 classes. Oh, up here. I forgot the whole thing. There we go. 19 classes online. Because normally you'd have to go to the school.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Drive there, drive back, go out for something to eat. But all online. Now I'm studying for the test. I haven't studied for a test in years.
That's exciting.
Years. So I got all these cards made up. This is only half of them.
Oh, look at you.
I don't know if I'm going to pass this. 2 tests. It's the state test. I don't know, Megan. I'm thinking that once I see the question, I'll recognize the result. Because as I go through my cards and I look at one side of the card and read the question, I should know the answer on the back because I've read them 20 times. And 70% of the cards, I still don't know the answer.
Really? Wait, when's
But
the
I'm
test?
hoping, what act addresses what to do with closed or amended waste sites? That would be Circla and Sarah, I think. You can't see it, can you?
I can't see.
Circla Superfund. All right, no, Circla Superfund. All right, I'll recognize that one. So that's what I mean. I think I would recognize them when I see them. Let's hope so.
Yeah, because it's like multiple choice.
Do I look smart enough to pass this test, this real estate test, Megan?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. And what's good about it is sooner or later, Megan Ruth Friend is going to want to buy a house with big pantries for pasta that you can eat. And Megan may say, you know what? John's doing real estate. Let me give the business to him. You never know.
Of course I would.
That's what I'm planning on, Megan. 2-3 years down the line, the youngsters start buying, the people my age start moving to Florida, North Carolina, and John will land some business on top of his stand-up. I did tell you, and anytime you want to chime in with something you would like to talk about, don't let me hog the airwaves.
Okay.
We're going to commercial in a few minutes.
Okay.
Match Game. Have
What?
you ever watched Match Game?
Match Game?
Match Game with Alec Baldwin.
No, I've never watched that.
All right.
What's it about?
It's a game show that Alec Baldwin hosts. That's a remake that they used to do, I think, in the 70s with Gene Rayburn was his name. And they have 6 so-called celebrities. But it's funny when you're on the show, as I was on the show, I didn't really embarrass myself, but I asked the producer, I said, can you do me a favor? Can you tell us who some of these celebrities are?
Yeah.
I don't want to embarrass myself because I don't know who the frig they are. Some of them, you know, Ray, the comic, what's her name? Old comic, female comic, Caroline Ray. She's on a regular basis. So I was on the show. And it was supposed to be aired last weekend. Then they told me next week. And now I've been told it's going to be pushed back to the fall. So on Sunday nights at 10 o'clock, you got to watch it before then because it's funny.
Oh, I think you told me about that, I think.
They drink on the show.
Oh, really?
So if you're watching a show that was filmed late afternoon, you could tell. Because they're a lot more goofy than they were at 10 o'clock.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. So for those people that have been emailing me and texting me, I don't have a date now. It's going to be in the fall. They didn't give me a date yet. They did send me my winnings, Megan Ruth friend.
How much did you win?
I'm not allowed to tell you. Not allowed to tell you, but I definitely can afford to take you out to lunch with my winnings.
Where though? Where are we talking? Like Wendy's or like somewhere nice?
Well, even somewhere nice. Oh, you don't. Where do you go? That's really nice. You don't go like to fancy schmancy places, do you?
No, no.
Like what's like if I went up to Megan Ruth friend and I said, "Hey Megan, how are you?" And you said, "Good, John. Just eating some pasta." And I said, "Where would you like to go? I want to take you to dinner. What's a really nice place would you like to go? Where's a really nice place you've been? You like steak?"
Not really. I don't know, like Cheesecake Factory.
I can afford that now. I can afford that with my winnings, but I can tell you something, Megan. You brought up a sore topic just now.
Why?
Because my daughter said, "Give me your credit card. I'm going to go buy my birthday cake from the Cheesecake Factory 2 weeks ago."
Oh,
Megan, $67. What the freak?
and you know it's all like frozen. Like they don't make it fresh, any of it.
You don't have to rub that in right now.
Like,
You know what I'm saying? 60. I said, "Are you out
for a frozen cake?
Who are we here that we can go to the supermarket and get it?" So, never again to the Cheesecake Factory.
They have really good food though.
They do? Really?
It is all like, yeah, I don't think it's like made fresh. Like it's like any chain restaurant. Like they get it all frozen and then they like put it together there. But
I did not know that. You know what we'll do, Megan Ruth? We will go to commercial and we'll come back either with our guest or with just us again.
okay.
We're going to commercial.
Hi, I'm Michael Barish, managing partner of Barish, McGarry, Salzman and Penson. We are honored to represent over 11,000 people in the 9/11 community. The people who work at my law firm can really relate to what the 9/11 community is going through because they're going through it too.
So my dad's name was Billy Gormley, and he was a fireman on 9/11.
My father also was a firefighter, and he did report down there as well on 9/11.
My dad, Alan, worked on the 104th floor of the second tower. He was an IT technician.
My father was a fire inspector.
My husband, his name is David Velez. He was a detective with the NYPD, and if I can help anybody that is going through exactly what I have gone through for the last 17, 18 years and make their life just a little bit better, then you know what? I love coming to work every single day.
You know, this is a genuine office. Like, people are really sincere.
The best part of my job is the clients. Every once in a while, you'll hear in their voice how grateful they are for the work that we do.
We take this personally, and we will not rest unless we help everybody we can before this victim compensation fund ends in 2 years. And we will be fighting to get this thing extended past 2020 because cancer isn't going to stop afflicting the 9/11 community.
And we're back, Laughter Saves live from my basement in Belmore. And we have joining us Dominique Joseph. Is Joseph your last name or is that your middle name?
My last name.
Oh, so you one of those the two names.
Joseph.
So people sometimes think there's a comma and think you're a male because they think Joseph, like Dominique, comma Joseph, right?
Yep. Yeah.
See, that would happen with idiots like me. That's definitely, yeah. I would be like, oh, I thought it was going to be a guy. But yeah. It happens to be the thing. So, Dominique, say hello to Megan Ruth, friend, on top of you there.
Hi, Dominique.
When she's on your screen. So, Dominique, crazy times we're going through here.
Yes.
We miss you guys. My attitude is I'm trying to remain positive and move forward with planning things, even if they have to be pushed back or whatever. I need to be positive in my life. That's how I always was. All right, yeah, things are a mess. I know it. I don't need to hear it 10 times. You know, like, I love those people who go, oh, it's going to get so much worse. It's gonna come. All right, we all know. All right, yeah, I know. Thank you. So I loved working with you on the shows that we did with you. You did something for me that I will never forget.
Huh?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure.
All right. I was a New York City fireman for 21 years, as you know,
Yes.
and very, very proud of what I did and very honored of the guys that I worked with. And I've done comedy shows all over the country. All right, Florida and 2 other states, all over the country. And I always love working with different organizations, but my home is the FDNY. And you gave me this at a barbecue.
Oh, yes.
Okay, at a barbecue where the FDNY commissioner was there, and Ray. In fact, I think Ray Pfeiffer was there. I'm trying to remember. I think Ray was there that first barbecue. But a lot of FDNY people. And I don't want to use the word honored. I was presented with this axe for the money we raised. And I came home and I was just blown away. Blown away. You made me feel very special.
I'm glad. Well deserved.
Thank you. Well, I thank you for that. So explain to our viewers what Fired Up for a Cure is and what you guys do.
Sure. So, Fired Up for a Cure is the FDNY's cancer awareness and cancer prevention initiative. It falls under the FDNY Foundation umbrella. And the purpose of it is to uplift our members who have cancer, as well as their caregivers, for all that they do to help the member. And it's also a way for our members to network with each other that are in the program that may not know of a fellow firefighter, whether it's somebody that's active or retired that is going through a similar journey as they are. And it allows them a space to connect with somebody who's gone down this path of being a cancer survivor, and helps them go through the motions together and feel the sense of community that is the FDNY. Also, it highlights a lot of the important screenings that the FDNY has in place for our first responders, like the medical monitoring that is offered to all of our members, as well as provides education for our members on cancer and how to protect themselves as best as possible, given that their career has them more prone to developing cancer.
So you also deal with active members?
Correct.
Excuse me, John, I hate to...
Foundation.
John,
yeah, so FDNY Foundation is the official nonprofit for the FDNY. We are an umbrella under that foundation, so we are one of the initiatives that fall under the FDNY Foundation.
So, are there other charities that are under that umbrella? Is the transport unit under that umbrella?
Well, so Fired Up for a Cure. What we wanted to do, we started off first as a Relay for Life team through the American Cancer Society, and when we realized how many of our members could benefit from having an event, and because we sort of overtook the Relay for Life event in Manhattan, we decided, why not partner with the American Cancer Society, as they do a lot of research that helps in finding a cure for cancer. But we also have many fire department foundations that play critical roles in providing services to our members that have cancer. So the Fire Family Transport Foundation is a benefactor of the funds that we raised for Fired Up for a Cure, as is the Family Assistance Unit, who provides additional benefits sometimes financial benefits for some of our active members that may not be World Trade, but have needs because they've developed cancer, as well as the American Cancer Society and the Ray Pfeiffer Foundation, which provides medical supplies that aren't covered by the World Trade Center program to members that are in the World Trade Center program. For example, a cooling cap to prevent hair loss for somebody that's receiving chemotherapy. That's not something that's covered by insurance. It's not something that's covered under the World Trade Center program.
What is it called? The cooling cap?
Correct.
And what is it? I've never heard of that.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Have you?
It's been really beneficial to some of our members. It helps in prevention of hair loss as they're receiving chemotherapy. So the Ray Pfeiffer Foundation has been able to step up and cover that cost, so it doesn't come out of pocket to the member. They've covered compression stockings for members who receive radiation, have lymphedema, which can be very painful sometimes. Stockings are covered by the World Trade Center program and can be very expensive, especially the more targeted area that needs the compression stocking, the more expensive it is because it's custom fit. So
how many members would you say you are dealing with at this time?
The cancer care team has roughly 2,600 members that are in the program. They continue to get new members weekly. There are some members that have multiple cancers as well. So it's a very specialized unit. They work very hard in ensuring that our members are well taken care of, that they have everything that is owed to them, that needs to be provided to them, and also help set them up with physicians that are the best for those specialties.
Right. We were very happy to be a small part of that. And this new thing that we're working on, which we got to push back the date. We didn't realize it was the Jewish holiday. So I think it's going to be Sunday, October 4th. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow night on that Zoom call. But hopefully you guys will be able to raise some money, because right now it's hard for the charities. We can't have, comedy nights or whatever. This will be something where your followers, you get the word out. All they got to do is go online, click, pay $30, $25 goes to you. The other $5 goes towards the expenses of running the online comedy event. So we're excited that you're going to be a part of that event.
Excuse me, John, I hate to interrupt you. Our remote producer, Butch, would like Dominique to see if she can turn her phone sideways if possible.
Yeah, can you?
And it didn't work. Okay, sorry about that.
You probably don't have the rotate set up on your phone. You could turn it back.
It's okay. Go back, Dominique. I'm sorry about that.
Unless you were laying down right now, that was.
Oh, no.
So, what is your job at the FDNY?
I was one of the oncology case managers for 6.5 years. Was a role that I enjoyed thoroughly. And last January, I took a transfer to the family assistance unit so that I would be able to service a larger range of our members, not just our World Trade members, but also our active members. So I am currently the family liaison for the family assistance unit at the fire.
They're lucky to have you.
Yes, I'm lucky to be able to give back to an organization that does so much, and to members who go out and do things in the field that I know I couldn't do myself. So it's a way back to those who give so much to communities and sacrifice so much of themselves and of their families.
Are you still walking home from work from Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn to uptown Manhattan?
Well, I actually moved. I'm back at my parents' house. My roommate got married, so
the nerve.
So no more walking.
So I mean, do you get when you come home with their meals ready for you and stuff again, or?
Of course.
They're not going to get rid of you now.
No.
How did you end up in that line of work, Dominique?
I say it was meant to be. It was a stroke of luck, I guess. I graduated from grad school in 2011. My specialty was counseling, mostly school counseling, kindergarten through 12th grade. At the time, there was a freeze within the DOE. My parents and most of my family are either civil servants, so they're working for the city in some capacity, or they're nurses or police officers. And so the best way I could find that was relatable to my field was to find something in the service of community giving. And I got lucky. There was an opening for BHS at the fire department, which is our Bureau of Health Services. I interviewed, and almost 9 years later, here I am.
Awesome. Bobby, do we have our other guests in the room?
We do not.
Okay. I just wanted to give a shout out. Can you see the back of that shirt?
Yes, West Windsor.
West Windsor.
Yes, that's where I taught today. My first class back. I haven't taught since March when I was up in Buffalo, and the guys out there were great. And what I liked is everybody wore their masks. I mean, it was funny. It was in like a little. There was a post office, and there was the firehouse, and a senior center, and you weren't even allowed to be outside in front of the building without a mask on, which I have no problem with. I have no problem with that. But they made me feel very comfortable first time back because I was a little nervous. Hey, in hazmat, I always had a mask on, right? But it's been a while, and it was good. It was good. So I just wanted to give them a shout out. All right, you know what we'll do? We'll go to commercial, and then we'll come back with Dominique.
Every once in a while, I come across a product I have to tell people about. LifeVac is one of them. Now, each year, 5,000 people choke to death. LifeVac can stop these senseless tragedies. It's so easy to use. You simply place, push, and pull. You'll never regret having a LifeVac. Please visit lifevac.net today to protect you and your loved ones.
Jack, put your phone away. We're having dinner.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
What can I get you? You guys want appetizers?
For some reason, I just got a craving for smoked meat.
Well, you ordered something already. The menu hasn't changed. You looked at it 3 times.
I don't know what I want yet.
I wanted chicken, but I think it's blackened, so I'll just have a burger.
How'd you like that cooked?
Medium.
Do you have any specials?
Specials? Boss, what are specials?
What's the matter? You don't know the specials?
Look at this smoke.
What smoke?
We gotta get these dumps clean.
Nah, they're fine.
You know what? We're just gonna take our order to go, okay?
In business since 2003, MCN Duct Cleaning is the result of many years of research and continuing education, realizing the need to provide a safer and cleaner environment for families on Long Island. MCN services both residential and commercial properties by cleaning dryer vents, fireplaces, HVAC systems, and so much more. This not only improves air quality, but it could also reduce your energy bills by making things run more efficiently. So, if you want to make your house or business safer and cut down on your bills in the process, give our friend Matt over at MCN a call now.
Is that steak well done?
Maybe call a little bit sooner than these guys did.
And we're back with Dominique Joseph, not Dominique, Joseph, but Dominique Joseph from Fired Up for a Cure. Megan is still here. And hey, there he is from General Needs. Lonnie's coming in. So I'll do this quick then. I just wanted to play it. Here's how the match game works, ladies. And they ask you questions and you have to fill in a blank, so to speak. And then you have to match as many of the stars as you can. So a question like this, they'll say, tail blank. And then the stars write down an answer, and you have to match as many of them as possible. So if I said to you, tail blank, what would you say, Megan? Tail
gate.
Gate. What would you say, Dominic? Tail.
And
Tail what?
Fin.
See, I said tailgate. So if you were one of the stars, Megan, you would have matched with me. So it was really funny. Is the final question? I can't tell you how much money. Can I tell you how much money? And the final question was, it was $25,000. And the final question was, birthday.
Cake.
And I said cake. And the guy from This Is Us, the star from This Is Us, said party. Cost me 20 grand. So I'm not allowed to say how much I won. But they paid me already, so I spent it. So, they can't take it back. I want to say goodbye to Dominique. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for all you do for my FDNY brothers and sisters. You're awesome.
Thank you very much, and thanks for all that you do for all the different organizations that give back to not just us, but to all the people, all the servicemen in need.
Thank you, Dominique, and we'll talk tomorrow night more.
All right, take care.
All right, thanks a lot. Go get something to eat. See what's ready on the stove there. All right. We have Alani and Susan. I remembered both names.
Yay.
Impressive.
Listen, you don't know how that hard. Like, I forgot Megan's name already. It's only been a half hour. I'm terrible with names. So, guys, thanks for coming in last minute, kind of, so to speak. We are excited to be working with you guys. Not only for the show, but we're going to do something on the show on a regular basis. Like I said last night in our Zoom meeting, I'm a big Zoom guy. They're calling me Johnny Zoom now. By the way, we're going to push back the show. I just got to wait for approval of the date tomorrow. JJ Boyd is Jewish. The guy who made the flyer is Jewish. Amy is Jewish, but the funny part is Amy said that to me initially. But she's so soft-spoken. And the way she said it, I'm like, oh, she goes, I can't come. I said, oh, all right. And then who was the other guy that's Jewish? Butch. They all saw the friggin' flyer. They're all Jewish. And I said to them today, guys, what's September? So, yes, we will definitely move the date to accommodate our Jewish friends without a doubt. We're excited to be working with you guys and raising some money for our heroes who deserve it. And it's just must be frustrating at times for you to see how some of these guys and gals are living.
Yeah, you know what? It's been extremely frustrating. And it's been pretty much our focus right from the very beginning, from the first time Susan and I went up in 2008 to what at the time was the Salvation Army unit at the Northport VA. It was called the Sally, Building 11, which is now condemned. I don't understand that. Another story about the VA. But we went up there in 2008. It was around Christmas time, and we saw a lot of young men and women that were coming back from Iraq, just with the saddest eyes we've ever seen in our lives, with all the issues that they had to deal with. Susan wanted to bring some home and then cook some meals. But we kept growing it at that point. We became helpers at that point for another great organization and monthly going up and feeding the vets. And then as that progressed, I just sitting and talking to them, realized they were dressed pretty nicely, but they didn't have underwear. They didn't have T-shirt. They didn't have a simple thing like a bra. Maybe one of my comedy skits, we got to talk about my bra story I did at the church in Babylon. It was great. The Mount Senior got kind of mad at me. I just used a hand thing, and it just didn't work out well.
Yeah.
But a simple bra changed a veteran's life in St. Albans. This was a woman in the back of a room who just didn't want to come out and introduce herself. But she didn't have a bra, and she was a big girl.
Right.
And she wouldn't come out. The Monsignor didn't like that move when I went big girl like that. Sue was in the back redder than she is right now that I'm actually bringing this up. Such
like,
really simple things that we've
Lonnie!
noticed that they need. Yeah, that was it. You know, here's the little shiksa wife I got over there.
I could picture that discussion in the car on the way home. Are you an idiot? Because I could see my mother doing it to my father because my dad was that way. Are you stupid? You were in church.
My whole life, yes.
You could have said worse things.
They did throw me out of pre-K. We'll talk about that one too.
Oh boy.
They talked about the rhythm method. I said, "Is that with PLJ on?" And the priest didn't like that very much.
He didn't like that. No.
But we meet these men and women, and they need really little simple things. Sometimes it's polygrip, which enables somebody to eat dinner that wasn't eating at a shelter that we got to meet. So we do simple things, but they become more important over the years. We started helping vets as they left the shelter system to get their own, when they got their own apartments, to get a bed to go to sleep on. The first time me and Susan met somebody was about 4 years ago. I think it was in Patchogue. And we knew this vet, he was kind of having a hard time. And he finally got through the shelter system, got his own place. When we went to his apartment, the day his bed was delivered, all he had before we got there was an army cot in his coat. And for a couple of weeks before we got there, before we even knew he was there, he's just sleeping with his coat at night and putting his coat on. It was late fall already. We delivered the bed, the bedding, the pots, the pans, the dishes, the things that he needed to start getting his life back together.
Awesome.
This year, to date, we've done 25 of those. We had to cut back a little bit on the other items. At this point, because we're doing so many and funds are tighter, we're pretty much doing the bed, the mattress, the frame, the box spring, and a bed protector. But previous to this, we would send over pots and pans and a whole myriad of other items. We just couldn't afford to spend the $800 anymore. We had to cut it back to the $400 or $500.
Let you know. What I would really love, and I told you, is let us start with one, but Laughter Saves Lives sponsor one of those, and
yeah.
Either way, I'll get the money, whether it be. But I want people to be involved. I want people to understand what you guys are doing. I was always moved. I teach on military bases around the country because, number one, because I'm very smart, Lonnie, very smart. And I teach.
That's not what Amy told me earlier.
I teach for Homeland Security and some other, but I'm always very moved when I go in those gates. I go through that security on these military bases around the country who are a city in its own, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
How simply these guys who dedicate their life, risk their life, live. How they don't need much. And you're saying this guy was sleeping on a cot with his coat. He probably would have done that for a year.
Right. Yeah.
And not complained.
Yep.
Right.
They don't complain. So to do what you're doing, and I know you do it for them, but when you walk away, you must feel awesome.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Awesome.
One of the greatest stories was there's a great shelter we work with in Connecticut. And it's a place called Homes for the Brave, and the women's version of the shelter is Forgotten Heroes, Soldiers. And this is a shelter, they house 45 men and give them all the training and all the support they need to get back going. And then there's another separate part of it for women. And these women have been abused horribly in the past. They have tremendous issues. There's 10 women that can stay in this shelter up to 2 years. It's a beautiful location. And
with their children.
With their children. I think it's about 2 years ago, I met a young girl there. And she couldn't look me in the eye. She had serious issues. And she ultimately complimented me on a stupid, really terrible old rock and roll t-shirt I was wearing. And she didn't have very much. And by the end of that conversation, 5 or 10 minutes later, she kind of opened up to me. And we really spent some time with her. We brought her a few items that she needed. Sue and I left this shelter to drive to a hotel that we were staying at overnight in Connecticut. And we just broke down and cried that we were able to do this change. It's really the little things. Right now, I know I'm on a very tight 10 minutes. We met a 90-plus-year-old vet who doesn't complain. He didn't complain that his... I set my timer on it. That was 8, so I got 2 minutes to go.
If you were a comic, you'd be getting a light right now.
Speed it up.
Now you make me laugh. Don't do that. He's had, in the last 3 years, his sink hasn't worked in his kitchen. But he didn't complain. Exactly what you just said, John. He didn't complain about it. He was 90 years old, and the first time he complained was last week that he couldn't breathe in his house because it was over 100 degrees, that he didn't have an air conditioner. We got 2 of them over there. I'm actually meeting the head of the Suffolk County VA Veterans Administration there tomorrow at 11:30 to find out what other benefits we can get them from the county. But they don't complain. It's my job to complain. It's my job that I'm always the 10-minute segment, and I love you guys, and thank you for letting me do 10 minutes. But recently I went to a meeting that was 3 hours long, and they told me, hey, Lonnie, you got 5 minutes. You got to get your point across in 5 minutes. Well, before me was some lady doing yoga for 20 minutes, and she wouldn't stop. One more song, and I'm like, wait, why do I have only 5 minutes?
And the yoga lady.
Men have done so much for us.
That's right. That's right.
So that's me. I'm going to be the noisy one. And Sue and I and our group of general needsers, we call them, hopefully are going to be able to make a difference in these men and women's life. 1 out of 3 women.
You have a new advocate. You have a new a partner, I want to say. I have a large following online. And, what I'd like to do is let's raise the 800 for the next guy. Let's do a Laughter Saves Lives. I don't, it would be great. I guess you guys can't take pictures or whatever. But it would be great if we can visualize this for the people, because I want people to see it. I want people to understand what's going on with these guys.
But you know what? We're working on that. That's actually a project that we're working on now to figure out how to create some kind of visual for everybody of the men and women that we help.
It's a
we
shame,
should have
but
some answers to that shortly.
Yeah, it's a shame, but when people see it, they're more motivated. We can talk about it a lot, and we'll get people motivated, but when they see, look at this guy, how he's living, this guy needs an air conditioner, he served in Vietnam, yada, yada, yada. I think we could get more people involved.
We got to revisit it. Early on, we made a decision when somebody posts, I told this a million times, some other group put a picture of a vet on Facebook about 10 years ago. It wasn't us. And the vet's family saw the picture and they called him. And he got so embarrassed by the picture going on Facebook, he took his own life. At that point, we said, we're not doing pictures. We have some pictures of volunteers working. On our website, you'll see some stuff, some stories, some testimonies. But we'll work on that. Thanks for the input with something we're going to try to organize over the next few
weeks. got permission. We got permission from St. Albans. Northport won't let us take pictures. For some reason, St. Albans will. And every week when we do the show, we, grab a few of the veterans who want to be in the picture, and we take a picture, and they like it. We have fun with it or whatever. And I've gotten more donations because of those pictures, because they see. Not only do we tell them, we go to the Veterans Hospital. Hey, if you can't come and buy the fruit and come with me, pay for the fruit, or pay for the comics transportation, make a donation. Right. And we've been pretty successful at that. We just miss those guys because we haven't been able to go in there for months. Do we have Dario in the room, Bobby?
We do not.
Oh, okay.
I'll send him in as soon as he shows up.
So we can talk a little more. So you have this 92-year-old guy. So we're going to try to raise the 800 to pay for a room and pots and pans and the mattress, right? We'll try to do that for one. We'll start with one.
Great. Thank you.
We'll pick a date. I already sent you guys a check, right?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Oh, good. So we'll pick a date, and on that date, we will send you another $800 check. And what I'll try to do is I'll try to raise that money through an online campaign. Maybe Megan can help me with that. I want to get the younger generation involved with Laughter Saves Lives Foundation. Megan has come to the Veterans Hospital. You've been there, Megan, right?
Yeah, I've done a show there. Yeah,
she's been, and the show sucks for comics. I have to build them up and say, listen, you're not going to get laughs. 3 people are going to fall asleep. One guy's going to be off his meds and he's going to scream the whole, talk the whole time.
You suck, yeah.
Just fight through it because they appreciate us being there. They see the same people every week. We're coming in with a young, cute Megan and these young comics, and they feed off of that energy, and they love it. I'll tell you a funny story. I had an attractive lady helping me with the fruit. She was making up the fruit every week. We give them fruit. And we were leaving the place, and she said to me, John, thanks so much for including me. I think they had a good time today, especially that one gentleman. And I said, well, why do you say that? She said, because I walked up to him and I said, sir, did you have a good time today? And he said, nice ass. She goes, I made his day. She goes, I loved it. So I love when they heckle, when they do stuff like that, because they're paying attention, and it's great.
You,
But what
you
you
guys
guys
need
are
to join
doing
with us when we go do our our barbecue.
Yeah.
If you looked at my Facebook post today, it's from 3 years ago at the Northport VA. We did a barbecue for 45 guys. We brought a band over at the shelter. We do that on a regular basis, and we do miss it.
We miss
Oh,
it a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Could we do a show at that shelter or no? The one in Connecticut?
I will look into that.
Okay.
It's right in Bridgeport. It's a great place.
Yeah, look into that. We'd love to come down and give him a few yucks.
It's right, it's 3 minutes on the ferry on the other side.
I'm familiar with the ferry. A famous story about the ferry is my daughter never heard the end of this one. Coming home one night late, and with my other daughter in the car, my older daughter, we had just come from the hospital because she had a reaction to something, and we had to go to the emergency room. So now it's getting late. Called my little one and said, hey, is there a ferry coming back? And she goes, oh, yeah, Dad, there's an 11 o'clock ferry or whatever. We pull up, and the ferry's coming in. And my other daughter goes, oh, Dad, we just made it. And I go, babe, look around. Is there anybody else waiting for the ferry? And she says, no, we're the only ones. I call my daughter back, and I go, is there a little asterisk next to that time, weekends only? And she goes, oh, yeah. So we got to drive all the way back. All the way
around, yep.
Yeah. So no Tommy in the waiting room? Bobby, no Daddario in the waiting room?
Not yet. I just emailed them the link a couple minutes ago, just in case.
All right. No problem. Anything else you guys want to plug, want to talk about? You're excited about the show. We're going to have a ball with the show. We're going to push the crap out of it. And we're going to get some local sponsors. Like, we will talk more about the local sponsors. If you guys land a sponsor, we'll take a small percentage maybe to cover expenses. You guys keep the rest, something like that. We'll work that out. But we're excited to have you guys.
It's great.
Thank you.
All right, we'll keep talking, John. Thank you.
All right. Have a great night, and
thank you.
Thank you for your 10-minute tightness.
Yeah, I was tight until you loosened me up, babe.
You're gonna, if you were a comic, you're gonna be getting in trouble. You'd be in big trouble right now, Lonnie.
I'm in big trouble my whole life. I'm not.
All right, good seeing you guys again. You're the best.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Such nice people doing God's work. You know.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Hey, there he is. There he is, Mr. Tommy D. Out in the dark again, Megan.
Hey, man. I'm always in the dark.
Always in the dark.
Let me walk over by the gazebo.
Now, he's getting fancy. He's using a gazebo word.
Yeah, it's the G word. Yeah.
No, you see what he does there, Megan? He says
it's a round shack.
Yeah,
it's a round shack,
dude. Makes him seem a little classier. Mr.
Yeah,
Daddario, are you out at the Sweetie's house? Can I ask you?
Yes, I am out at the Sweetie's house. I'm in such a classy place that my neighbor just was cigarette out in a can of Schlitz. That's how freaking classy this place is.
Well, I always noticed that she never lets you broadcast from the house.
Oh, it's not that she doesn't. She's arguing with her ex-husband.
Oh, okay. So
well, not arguing. They're, in case he sees this, they're discussing something.
Okay. So they're arguing.
Yeah, quite possibly they're arguing, but I would say they're having a conversation about the welfare of their family.
That's always tough.
How's that for diplomatic?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I have to say that I'm very happy for you. I see these pictures on Facebook holding hands at the beach and the kids, and you're the best, and anybody that ends up with you is going to be very lucky.
Oh, that's nice of you to say that, John. Thank you very much.
Well, you know, I want to look good on the air. I want to look like I'm a nice guy and say lovely things.
And God forbid you're talking to a couple of comedians in the back of a club. You're going to be like, what's with Daddario playing dad? It's freaking ancient.
What is with Tom on the ocean? And
with Tom, with
listen,
the kids.
I am so happy for you. 14 pictures though of a chipmunk, a little much. All right, a little much.
That might have been Annie. She's I think it's that everybody sort of has their way of doing things. It's interesting how we're like, because we're in the comedy business and everything, we rarely use Facebook and social media for anything like worth anything with real emotion.
Right.
We don't use anything. We don't use social media for things that gold.
I honestly, I looked at it. I go, I'm happy for Tom. You can picture 4 comics going, "What a dick!"
For everyone that says, "Oh, that's wonderful. I'm happy for him."
Yeah.
There's something others that are like, "I can't wait till he's crying the day he leaves."
Did she break up with you yet? Right? First thing in the morning, you're looking. Hey, did she break up with you, you dick?
Exactly. Wait till funny's not funny anymore. Like it's like you start dating a comic and you're like, "Oh, this is so funny." You're like funny all day, and then after a while, she looks at you like, "Oh my God, your mouth is still moving."
So true. So true. I'm basically in the basement most of the time. My family wants nothing to do with me up there.
Right? And then Brianna, God bless her, she's adorable. Annie's daughter, she's 11, and she just looks at mom and says, "Your boyfriend has problems."
She's getting to know you. See,
she is crazy. Like when she was in the hospital, she had a surgery. Thank God she's doing better. She got some issues we're still working out, but she's doing
good.
And she was like, "Mom, what did you see in this guy the first time you saw him?"
Does she say that in front of you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like,
is she busting your balls, or is she serious?
No, she is. She's busting my balls. But then the thing is, she's 11, so she actually compliments me by mistake.
Right.
She doesn't even realize that she's complimenting me. Like she'll say, "Oh, she just wants you for your muscles," and I'm like, "Okay, tell me the bad part of that." You know what I mean?
Well, that's funny. My daughter we were on the beach 2 years ago, and I took off my shirt. We're walking, and she looks at me and she goes, "Dad, you're really not that flabby." I'm like, I think thank you. I think thank you.
Yeah.
Sort of a compliment, yeah.
That's great. Do you know Megan, Tom? Have you ever seen Megan perform?
Yeah, I think I have, Megan.
Yeah, we've met before.
Yes, there you are. Didn't we just weren't you just at
yes.
Weren't you at McGuire's?
Yeah, on Saturday.
Yeah, I saw you there. Yeah, well, that was a good set. It's so weird, right? Having the stuff and like I didn't do it yet, but having like the plexiglass doing all that, it must be so weird.
I thought it was gonna be way weirder than like you get used to it after like a minute.
Yeah.
But it's like you're in a bubble.
Tom, with the Heroes tour I'm working on, my first guest spot, if I have a guest spot, is going to be you.
I'd love that.
We'll do the whole last responder joke, like the transition. So funny, yeah. We'll do the whole last responder thing, but Megan is going to be on some of those shows. She was an EMT for a while. What do you got?
Fantastic,
what do you got, Bugs?
Megan, that's great.
What are you looking at?
Oh no, there's bugs flying around, of course. There's a light over my head, so I'm in the town gazebo. Here.
I mean, we got another minute. I wish you could focus.
I'm listening. It's not that bad. I'm focused. I know I would love. Like I know I was just about to say I appreciate her. That's really great. And so when you do the tour, you're going to have like obviously people that are on the show. Like guest spots could be somebody like me, but primarily it's going to be people that work in the industry.
Police, fire, EMS, and healthcare professionals. But like, there's going to be that transition where both of us are going to be on stage for a minute, doing that banter, breaking each other's balls. So maybe even 3 comics on stage.
Oh, cool.
Just a minute. Not
too
much.
Just a minute with masks on. Now, are you thinking, or you're going to do this soon?
No, I really want to do it right. But we'll talk more about it. We got to go. It's 9:00.
It sucks.
Tommy, thanks for taking the time to leave the argument.
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
Megan, yeah, good to see you.
Thanks for co-hosting
tonight.
Thank you. Go back and eat some pasta Maybe it's raw pasta, Tom.
Used to.
Crunchy
Used
pasta.
to.
We will see you next week on Laughter Saves Lives. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Bye.
Good night.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Was chasing the beer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall. Play ball, play ball. Take off the caps, time for the song.